It's Eagles versus Bills. Sunday afternoon, primetime game of the week. I'm excited for it. We're going to break it down, previews, predictions, thoughts, everything. Plus, we're going to have a coaching conversation, not just football, but basketball. I got something to get off my chest here about coaching. Trending in the AM with your thoughts and opinions. We're live on Black Friday in 30 seconds.
Fourth and goal.
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM. Right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live. Facebook, YouTube. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell one, tell all. Trending in the AM, where your opinions actually matter. And please do me that favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, follow button. It is free to do it. It does not cost you a thing. It is the only thing you'll do on Black Friday that will not cost you a penny. So hit that like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Wherever you're watching, whichever platform, whichever channel, wherever you are. I am your host, Phil Stiefel. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you can look at Bearded Knowledge. I greatly appreciate that as well. And yes, it's the day after Thanksgiving, otherwise known as Black Friday, one of the biggest shopping holidays of the year. I am not out shopping. We're a little late today. I apologize. I decided last night that I would sleep a little past my normal wake-up time since I decided to take today off from the pizza shop. I didn't really want to get up at 6:30 this morning. So we're starting a little later, 8:30 this morning. But we'll go as late as we need to today. Good morning, Adam. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Let's go Birds. Absolutely. Yeah, Cowgirls fans. Wow. Yeah. I'm sure the parade is planned after that Cowboys game. I tweeted that out as soon as the game ended last night. I'm like, yep, Cowboys already planning that victory parade with that Lombardi trophy because they whooped up on the Washington I Quit Commanders. I saw somebody tweet something out, a Washington content creator tweet out about Josh Harris. How dare he not fire him yet? I'm like, dude, I tried to warn all Washington fans, man. Josh Harris ain't going to fire anybody. Josh Harris is not a good owner. Not a bad one, but not a good one. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah. And K1, good morning. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. That's right. There was some. I didn't watch much football yesterday. I won't lie. I had a busy Thanksgiving. Had a lot of running around to do. A lot of playing with nieces and nephews. Played a little golf on a simulator in my brother-in-law's garage. Actually watched very minimal football. But by reading the box scores, seeing the highlights, there is now in my mind a clear distinction in the NFL. Like the Lions, like we like this Lions team. We think there's something. They're just not there yet. It's literally the Eagles and the Chiefs. Then the next tier, the Ravens, the Cowboys, and the Niners. And then a huge, massive gap and the rest of the NFL. There's literally two great teams, three really good teams, and then a bunch of crap in the NFL this year. It's pretty pathetic, honestly. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Eric. Core 12 to all the Core 12. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoyed their day. My sister did a fantastic job cooking dinner yesterday. I won't lie. I got to give her credit for where credit's due. She put out quite the spread. All we had to do was bring the mashed potatoes and bring some desserts, and she did the rest. And she did a fantastic job, as expected. You should have heard Romo giving tongue bath to Mike McCarthy. It was pure gold. I did not hear it. I did not hear it. But I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be. I wasn't. I'm not shocked hearing that. And I think I've heard other people say. I thought I also heard Romo giving quite the exciting commentary on the Dolly Parton halftime show. I don't know. But that's what I heard. That's what I read. That's what look. The NFL is pretty damn average. We've talked about that almost ad nauseum this year so far. how mediocre, how average every team really truly is. And Thanksgiving kind of proved that with Detroit getting smoked the way that I know it was only a 6-point game, but they got smoked pretty handily. Dallas and the 49ers, they did their thing. Seattle showed up to be slightly fraudulent again. It's like these teams, they could beat up on bad teams, but then they can't beat up on the good teams. And the good teams could beat up on the average teams, but can't beat the great teams. I really think that's all it is. There's just a lot of mediocrity, and yesterday's Thanksgiving proved that. It proved that the Lions and the Seahawks are just mediocre teams. They're just not there. I actually saw somebody say before the show went live, and we'll get to Eagles here in a little bit. I definitely want to talk Eagles Bills preview predictions there. We'll go through the rest of the slates. There's a Black Friday game today for the first time. We'll talk about that, and I want to talk about Nick Sirianni and Gregg Popovich, two totally different people, but in the same conversation. We're going to get to that as well. But look, I saw somebody tweet out right before the show, is it time to move on from Geno Smith already in Seattle? And look, Geno Smith's great story, his comeback last year, but I'm surprised they didn't look into another quarterback before this year. Maybe they will be next year. I don't know. But that team is stalling under Geno Smith for sure. Not at all. Oh my God! Did you see the world concurring Cowboys and the no now MVP favorite Dak Prescott? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what everybody is talking. Everybody's going to be thinking. Yeah, you did say they were frauds. Look, I like the Lions team. I do, but they're just not ready. They're just not. Dan Campbell just hasn't completely put together. I don't know if it's Jared Goff. I don't know if there's parts of their team that's just lacking coordinators. I don't know what's holding the Lions back just yet. But there's something holding them back, and it could be Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a solid, average. Jared Goff to me will turn into the next Jimmy Garoppolo, basically a pretty average quarterback that just hangs around for a while. Mitchie Boo, happy Thanksgiving to you. Can't talk sports on Twitter. Yes, you can. You just got to block out the evil haters, and you got to block out the haters and the trolls. That's what you got to do. That's what I do. I put out some points yesterday, and I got crushed, even though it's Thanksgiving. I still got crushed for some of my opinions. But you know what? It is what it is. I just ignore it. Sometimes I play into it and have fun, but man, it is crazy how it's become. Happy Thanksgiving, Duck. Glad to see you this morning. Again, sorry everybody. I didn't want to wake up right at 6:30 on my day off to come do the show. So we pushed it back about a half hour start time. Maybe we'll go a half hour longer than normal too. So we'll see how the day goes here, but I'm in no rush. Take our time, have a conversation about football, have a conversation about coaching today, and whatever else anybody wants to talk about. Tell me what you guys did on Thanksgiving. I'd love to hear it. Um, I do. I love to hear each and everybody's holidays and what they did. Hater and trolls will do what they do. Forget exactly, Duck. That's what I do. And if it gets too out of control, it's just a quick mute. If it gets extremely out of control, it's a quick block. It's so simple. Um, I've built my whole entire platform, started with the Twitter platform. So whatever it's called, X, whatever now. But we don't even stream on there anymore because it's so hard to stream and get it to work on there. We just don't even do it. I got it on here, I got it on Facebook, and I got it on a backup YouTube page as well. Lions are frauds. Goff played like the guy he was going against in fantasy football. Had him at quarterback. Um, yeah, I don't know if Jared Goff is a fraud. By the way, I lost I placed two bets and won $3 single elimination or single entry DFS lineup yesterday. They all crashed and burned. Jared Goff was my quarterback in DFS. I had a nice parlay. I thought anytime touchdown, and I hit the first part of it, Laporta touchdown, and then I didn't hit anything else there. I had the Lions winning that game, so I lost my game parlay. I lost everything yesterday gambling wise. But it is what it is because it was some bad football. Watched Donnie Brasco last night. Of course you did. After everything we talked about on Wednesday, had to go watch it. I don't even know what I was watching on TV. I had a little bit of the night football game on, but I zoned out last night. I zoned out. Too much football, too much golf yesterday. When I got home around 9:30 last night, it was crash time. It was crash and burn time. I had a little scotch and out, out. Goff and Gino or Fugazi. Yeah, I mean, Goff and Geno are the perfect reason to say, give thanks for having someone like Jalen Hurts in your locker room, in your team's locker room, because it could be worse. You could have Goff or Geno or some of the other guys that are starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Whereas average of the NFL it's average because there's a lot of average quarterback play in the NFL right now. And I'm not taking anything away from Goff and Geno, especially both of them actually, because both of them I think are great stories. Goff gets benched or traded away after winning a Super Bowl and helps turn the Lions franchise around a little bit. Geno was a bust, and last year took the Seahawks to the playoffs. So they're great stories, but they're very, very mid, very, very average. Went over to my cousin's who lives a block away and ate and drank from 1 and home by 10 to work today. Had 4 fingers of rum and tasted like a well-aged whiskey. It was a good day. That sounds like a fantastic day, except for the have to work today. I just decided didn't feel like working today. Scheduled the staff. I'm sure somebody will call out and I'll have to go to work. But as of this moment, I got the day off. Once you decide to go somewhere on Thanksgiving, kind of have to take the day after off because the running around and stuff like that is just a bit much. I had 4 bets on all 3 games and lost on all of them too. Yeah, look, yesterday was not a good betting day, not a good DFS day. If you took, if you leaned in, my DFS lineup was centered around the Lions with Goff, and I had the Lions defense because I thought they'd shut the Packers down. But I guess all of a sudden Jordan Love's good now too. Um, Goff and Gino are good quarterbacks. They aren't elite. Exactly. That's all I'm trying. Some people are going to say they're complete and total frauds or fugazis or whatnot. They're good. You could do worse, but you could do a lot better too. So, I think Goff is still slightly better. I think Goff still has a slightly better upside than Geno. There's been a lot more bad than good in Geno's career. So I would still take Goff over Geno, but I don't know if Goff is the reason why the Lions this year haven't taken the next step. Whether it's that, where there's other pieces. I don't watch the Lions frequently enough to do that. So I stayed home with my son and watched Puss in Boots movie with The Wish. Awesome. Followed up with the Triple Frontier, a win-win. That sounds like a dang good day. I finished off my bottle of my buddy Manny. I was at a party a month ago at his house, and he pulled out this James Buchanan 18-year aged Scotch, and I'd never had it before. I'm not even a big Scotch guy. I prefer bourbon over Scotch, and he poured me a little finger or two of it, and I'm like, "This is damn good." He's like, "Here, have the other. I've got an unopened bottle. I don't drink it. I just have it here for guests. Take it." I took it. I looked it up. It was like a $90 bottle of Scotch, and I've been drinking little at a time. And last night, got home, I finished. I had a little bit left in the bottle. Finished that off. It was so good. Such a good thing. Except I just don't spend $90 on Scotch. So, yeah, that's right. That's right. Is Goff and Gino better than Russell Wilson? That's an interesting question. Is Goff and Gino better than Russell Wilson and Matt Stafford, the two team, the guys that they replaced? Mm. I don't know. Uh, Russell Wilson's got not the Lions, the Broncos playing good all of a sudden. They what lost how many games now? They've won what 4 or 5 games in a row. Um, they are right now. I mean, the teams are trending in different directions right now. Honestly, the Seahawks are kind of falling back down. Broncos are going back up. I don't know. Russell Wilson's had more success in his career, so I think big picture, you probably would take Wilson in the short term. But I don't know how much more career left for Russell Wilson. I don't know. That's a tough call. I think if anything, I would just say they're all equals to an extent at this point of their career. Wilson is better, closer right now. I, I, I I think it's a tough question to even answer. Which one's better? But we do know that Jalen Hurts is number one. I got somebody got heated with me on Twitter because I put it yesterday morning. I'm like, I didn't say who are the best athletes in Philadelphia. I said, who are you personally most thankful for in Philadelphia? And I put Jalen Hurts as number one and Bryce Harper number two. And people told me I was nuts for saying I'm more thankful for Jalen Hurts than Bryce Harper. I'm like, yo, it's just in a personal opinion. And it's kind of like a 1A, 1B, honestly, at this point. I don't even remember who else I put in my top five. Let me scroll through Twitter here and find it. Uh, yeah, here it is. I put Hurts 1, I put Harper 2, I put Maxi 3, I put Hassan Reddick 4, and Joel Embiid 5. And that rubbed people the wrong way. The whole thing. Putting Embiid 5 rubbed people the wrong way. Putting Maxi above Embiid. Putting Hassan Reddick, people are like, oh, how can you be more thankful for Reddick than AJ Brown? Just personal preference. I think Peyton is holding Wilson back, to be honest. Well, I think Sean Payton's an overrated coach, to be honest. He hasn't really been successful in his career outside of the years he had Drew Brees. And even that, how successful was he? It's the same thing with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Mike McCarthy was there during the Brett Favre time at all. But he's won one Super Bowl. Sean Payton in New Orleans, with how great that team was, won one Super Bowl. Now they had a tough timing. They were going up against the era that had Brady and Peyton Manning and stuff like that in it. But man, it's not like they got over the hump that often. Big picture is Russell played at such a high level for so long. Gino would never be able to. Yeah, exactly. I think they need to move on from Gino sooner rather than later. Versus the Detroit Lions could probably hang around with Goff a little bit longer. Did everyone watch the Philly special? Philly special. I don't even know what that is, so I guess no. Post Thanksgiving value. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a value show or not. We started 30 minutes late. Whether we go the full 90 minutes, I don't know. We're just winging it today. We might go 2 hours. Who knows? Just winging it today. Yes, I got Reddick at number 4, who I'm most thankful for. Not who's the best, just who I'm most thankful for. I love Hassan Reddick. I know he might not be here long term, but I am very thankful for Hassan Reddick. I love me some Reddick. Phil, the Thanksgiving grump. Why am I the grump? Why are we calling me the grump? What did I do grumpy so far? There's the man. Exactly. He's just grumpy because our Eagles are going to whoop up on the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Broncos have won 4 straight. They probably make the playoffs. At this point, they're trending in the direction of making the playoffs. For sure. For sure. It's the best parts of Christmas. Peanuts character looks in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation. Oh, okay. All right. Thanksgiving games garbage. They were garbage. Without a doubt. Hurts, Reddick, Byard, Harper, Moxie, and Bede. And of course me, of course. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love how you got Reddick 2 on your most thankful list. You're not saying they're your best. You're just saying that they're what they are. You're thankful for them. I think it's hilarious that you got Kevin Byard up there so high because and somebody will be offended by that because that's what people do. They get offended too easily. Bills versus Eagles, the world's greatest game. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the world's greatest game or not, but it'll be an entertaining game. It'll be tougher than people realize, for sure. Who's more on the hot seat? Ron Rivera. Oh, Ron Rivera's seat is so hot he's not even sitting down. Ron Rivera will be fired, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, in January. Ron Rivera's getting fired. Pete Carroll, I don't know. I don't know if Pete Carroll ever gets fired. Maybe Pete Carroll gets laid off or decides to retire or step away at some point. But Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, they're basically allowed to coach as long as they want in their cities. Um, and I, to an extent, I'm okay with it. It doesn't seem like they've lost the entire locker rooms and stuff like that. So, they still put out good products weekly. I don't even know if Pete Carroll is on the hot seat, Adam. But Ron Rivera, he's done, basically. Phil is actually pretty chirpy today. I'm in a good mood. I had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. First time I haven't had to cook a turkey in 5 years. So I'm in a good mood today. I'm a very good mood. Bills are going to get cobbled. They're not. I don't know. I think the Eagles Bills game is going to be a closer game than people realize. I really think it's going to come down to one thing. I was looking at where the Bills rank offensively and defensively in the league, and we know the Bills don't have a great record or anything. They're a very average team, win-loss record-wise, but they're a better ranked defense and a better overall ranked offense than us. They're top 10. They have had one major issue this year, the Buffalo Bills, and that's turnovers. I mean, we talk about Jalen Hurts is turning the football over. Well, Josh Allen has turned the ball over even more. So the first key to victory we get here on this Black Friday show is forcing turnovers from Josh Allen. That's how you beat this team. You make them turn the ball over. And Josh Allen is so prone to making mistakes. He's got 12 interceptions alone on the year. I'm telling you, that is the number one way you win this game. You win. Again, I hate going to the cliche, things, but your number one thing to win this game is create turnovers. You don't even have to win the turnover battle because we've seen the Eagles lose the turnover battle and still win football games this year. Now you don't want to have 4 or 5 turnovers more than the other team, but if we had 3 turnovers and they had 2, that doesn't mean anything, in the end of the game. But we need to create some of those turnovers, and Josh Allen will do that. We need a minimum of 3 turnovers created on Sunday. That's key number 1 to the game. And we'll get into more of them as we go here, for sure. That will be the best game on Sunday. Yeah, they flexed games out of the 4 o'clock, just so everybody's tuning into the Bills. The Eagles-Bills Sunday game will have 20 million viewers at least. I guarantee. If Eagles-Cowboys Monday night got 29 million, the most in 27 years, Eagles-Bills is going to get at least 20 on Fox at 425 on a Sunday for sure. How is Rivera even employed? Well, because it's Josh Harris. I sent a message to the one guy that tweeted out about something about Ron Rivera this morning. I'm like, yo, if Josh Harris kept Doc Rivers around 3 years too long, there's a reason why Ron Rivera hasn't been fired yet. Josh Harris doesn't really have a pulse on his team. He doesn't. Rivera will not be in Washington next year, absolutely, but he shouldn't be at this point. Honestly, if we're being very unbiased and not thinking of as just Eagles fans, we're thinking as football fans. Ron Rivera should have been fired by now. He should have been fired at the end of last year when he made the statement, "Oh, I didn't know we still had a chance for the playoffs." As soon as he said that, he should have been fired on the spot, but he wasn't because of the ownership change. And now the owner was just trying to keep things, level this year. But it's time to move on for sure. Commies fans wanted Rivera fired yet. Some commie fans want him fired a long time ago. But you know what? Good for us. The longer it takes for the commies to get back going, the better it is. I had turkey. I went to you missed the beginning of the show. I shouted out my sister who cooked a great turkey dinner on yesterday. So I just didn't have to do any of the work for a change, which was very, very nice. And my sister kicked ass with the work she did. Man, Chatter, what are we betting? If the Bills lose, you need a Judlin, or not a Jalen, a Judlin Hurts tattoo. I love it. I love it. Kevin is putting his foot in the arse of the secondary, putting pressure on the side. I like it. I love it. Who you're thankful for means nothing in the grand scheme of things when it comes to, you know, who's the best. It just means who you personally enjoy the work of, who you're glad your team brought here or traded for or drafted. That's all it means. And I thought it was so funny how pissed off people got about my list. I put honorable mentions. I put Tobias Harris's name in it because I'm thankful for Tobias Harris. Oh, that pissed like 3 or 4 people off. I was like, I'm thankful for him. He's an underappreciated guy in the city. The problem is that Eagles aren't getting turns. Exactly. And that's why it's a key. They turn the ball over a lot. We don't create enough turnovers. What gives? We've already failed. There's been plenty of games where keys have been getting after the quarterback. Where we're going up against a team that gives up a lot of sacks, and then we don't get home, we don't wrap up, so on and so on. Well, here's another situation. This team turns the ball over a lot. We don't create a lot. We need to create those turnovers. We need to do it. The cornerbacks have to be aggressive. Last week, punching the ball out. We got to work on doing that too. These players will drop passes. They will fumble the ball. And Josh Allen will throw interceptions. We need to create 3 at a minimum. If there's 3 or if there's less than 3 turnovers from the Eagles, this is a 1-score game. No doubt about it. Maybe a 3 or 4 point game if we create less than 3 turnovers. We create 3 or more turnovers, we win by 7 or more points, in my opinion, at this point. Josh Allen is Brett Favre, except turnover mode is all the way up. He's a gunslinger. That's what Brett Favre was. We got some big turnovers against KC. They're coming up big. Well, we need more. More! I want more! Eagles, You better recognize it. You all better everybody better recognize the Eagles after we go out and beat Buffalo again. Sam Howell is not the future. Yeah, I don't know. Adam, it's funny. Sam Howell's putting up. He right now. I know he's played this week, and a lot of other teams haven't. He is the number one quarterback in yards in the NFL right now. He has thrown for more yards than anybody else in the NFL. But I kind of feel like I agree with you. He's not the future. But also, you got Ron Rivera there. So, do you really know if he's the future? I would like to see whoever the next coach is sink their teeth into Sam Howell because Sam Howell can sling the ball. He's got weapons, but the team is just a train wreck. So I can't fully judge Sam Howell just yet. I'm not sure if he's the deal or not, but I think there's a possibility that he's got a lot of hollow stats, a lot of meaningless stats that on a really good team or in a really big crunch time would come up small. I don't know. I don't know yet, Adam. It's hard to judge that one right there. Ron Rivera is a good coach, but he's worked for crap organizations with horrible front offices. Um, yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Warning: 24% of the time, Allen plays like a sober. Then look out. Yeah. TMC needs a Howie Roseman tattoo. Yeah. Come to think of it, so do I. Everybody's gonna get Howie Roseman tattoos after today. No, not happening for my next one. I think Desai has health players at key positions in the Fangio scheme. Fangio scheme depends on the slot corner and the nickel safety. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. Nurse should be in everyone's top 10. It's like he emerged from the flames of the Larry Brown Phoenix. Look, they didn't play well on Wednesday night, the Sixers. They've lost, what, two in a row now, or two of their last three, or three of their last four? They're not playing perfect ball right now. Resting Embiid in that Minnesota game, obviously, it was going to be a challenge with their bigs in Minnesota, but that team just sleepwalked through that game. It's still a learning process with Nick Nurse and this Sixers team. It really is. Latavius Murray, James Cook, how will you stop them? Well, we had one of the best running defenses in football, top three, and then we got eaten up by the Chiefs a little bit. But we still are one of the best run defenses in the league. I don't worry about the running attack. I worry about Stephon Diggs, Cooking, Slayer, Bradbury. I worry about Dalton Kincaid, against our linebackers and safeties. That's who I have to worry about. I got to worry about Josh Allen breaking free for a 50-yard run. I don't even know if he still does that. I got to worry about us not wrapping up Josh Allen when we get a sack potential, and then him ad-libbing, which is always what we struggle with. That's what I worry about on Sunday. Sam Howell is not problem down in Washington. He needs an offensive line and a good quarterback coach and offense. Yeah, I mean, we don't know if he's the problem or not. He's putting up a lot of big numbers, but are they real numbers or not? I don't know. Oh, I already want a Howie tat. You get that, you'll never have to do a super chat ever again. Not serious. Sure, it's serious. Yeah, I don't know if he's serious or not either. Um, Rivera is the front office at Washington. Is he? Does he make those kind of decisions? I wouldn't even have known. Sam Howell is the new Kirk Cousins. That could be a fair. That could be a fair comparison, maybe. Dalton Kincaid is somebody I worry about for sure. Beard Bros, hit that like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am thankful for all of you. Hopefully, you're all thankful for me. We got 7 likes on YouTube only, 2 on Facebook. So make sure you hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Khalil Shakir is more dangerous than Gabriel Davis. I don't know. Maybe. Gabe Davis, I always found, was a little overrated. He had that one big game in the playoffs where he had like 3 or 4 touchdown catches, got a big payday off of it. But since then, I've seen in highlights, I've seen a lot of drops from him since then. So I don't know if he's like that all the time. But I think Gabe Davis is a smidgen overrated. Uh, Sixers are feeling effects of Oubre once he comes back. We become elite again, and he's going to come back soon. Um, David Tepper is worst owner. Who's David Tepper? Is that the owner of the Bills? I don't even know. All right, I want to transition to a different topic here before we finish up, where we get back to Eagles talk here. Do we get the hard reset? No, we're going to skip the hard reset. We'll soft reset multiple times throughout the show. How about that? We'll do a couple soft resets. I'm feeling very soft this morning. So 2 things coaching wise. came up in the last couple of days, and I want to address them, and I want to address both of them individually, but also at the same time. So first with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni, it turns out, is getting a lot of crap on him throughout social media, throughout the media in general, even some local media, about how fired up he gets, how emotional he is. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. You never wonder what he's thinking because he tells you, he shows you. And it really set me off the other day because Joe Giglio from WIP put out a tweet that said Nick Sirianni has proven to be a good NFL coach. Now he needs to work on acting like a grown man and showing composure. And he's basically talking about how Nick Sirianni, shouting to the Chiefs fans, high five, and he doesn't like how Nick Sirianni carries himself. But how Nick Sirianni carries himself is exactly why he's successful. And then Wednesday night, we go to San Antonio. And one of the most pompous, arrogant coaches in the history of coaching in sports, Gregg Popovich, there was a game between the Clippers and San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. Former Spur Kawhi Leonard was at the free throw line, and the crowd was booing him. He goes, that's what you do when you're on the free throw line. You try to convince, you try to rattle the cage of the person on the free throw line. He stopped the game, went to the mid court, grabbed the microphone from the PA announcer, and told the fans, stop booing him. Let these guys play. And of course, they just booed louder. That is not like us. We're not booers. And I don't understand how a coach or how anybody, and I put this out on Twitter. I thought this was the most wrong thing. I thought he was wrong, wrong, wrong. I know he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's done a lot of good behind the scenes, but he's also an arrogant prick. Okay, and he's talked to the media poorly throughout his career. How he gets off with saying you can't boo? It's not like they were chanting obscenities. And I put out there that Gregg Popovich was way wrong on this, and I couldn't believe how many people said no. Me thinking it's okay to boo is what's wrong with society, I was told. And I'm like, I don't get this. Like, we love that Nick Sirianni wears emotions on his sleeves, fired up, shouting and screaming and all. But yet we don't want our fans to boo the opponent. Like, what is wrong with coaching that Gregg Popovich has the right, first off, to just grab a microphone and speak down to the crowd like that? His crowd, his fans, his team's fans. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's two totally different stories, but two totally different extremes here. One's an emotional, guy that leaves it all on the field, leaves it all out there, and the other that doesn't want you as a fan having any emotion in a game. And both situations have really, 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 really annoyed me in the last couple days. All right, back to the comments here. Let's see what you guys think of this. Ursa right now is the worst owner. It used to be Daniel Snyder. Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wish. Flaccid reset incoming. Yeah. JJ is not great, but puts on a decent product every year. I want him to live forever and be the owner of Dallas forever. Yeah, exactly. Popovich is a nutcase. That is without a doubt. Without a doubt, Popovich is a complete and total nutcase. Hell no. I love him telling the KC fans that he doesn't hear. Yeah. I love that as a warning to everyone in the NFL that are coming and we can't be stopped. I agree. I love that Nick Sirianni is a fiery personality. His players, even though he's got his emotions always on his sleeve, it's not like he's losing respect from players ever. Like, and it's not like free agents don't want to come here and play. People want to be here. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, they could have gone elsewhere. Fletcher Cox could have gone elsewhere. Brandon Graham could have gone elsewhere, made bigger paychecks, but no, they came here. People want to be here. Agree about Popovich, the Belichick of basketball. I don't know. I almost put Popovich a click or two above Belichick in the sense of being an arrogant, SOB. Because Belichick doesn't really dress you down. He just says, he's got this dry, drab personality where he's being arrogant by not being arrogant. Popovich actually just is blatantly over the top arrogant and prick. And the fact that he told his fans, no, you can't boo another team's player while they're on the free throw line shooting a free throw. And it's not even like he did it like in a commercial timeout. Like he did it, he literally, Kawhi was on the free throw line and he stopped the game to do this. And it wasn't like they were, shouting obscenities. They were just booing and not even that loud. Hell, we got the brick in for chicken. We're making noises at Sixers game. We're banging things. We're doing everything. I wonder what Popovich would think of that. I'm sure he doesn't like it. Like, I don't get it. I don't get where he gets off believing it's okay for him to tell the fans of his city that they cannot boo casually, not even loudly, casually boo an opponent, especially one that left you. And it's not like Kawhi's been there. Like, it's been like 8 years since Kawhi's been in San Antonio. Pop thinks he's God's gift to Texas, and Texas does love him. And I bet you this is a minor story in Texas. I'm sure there's a few people criticizing him, but I bet you most of Texas is supporting him in saying this. But the people that came at me, I'm what's wrong with the fans of the world because I boo. Like, that's what I pay ticket. I pay hard-earned money for a ticket. I'm booing if I want to. I'm going to do it professionally, politely, friendly, all in the spirit of sports. But Pop thinks that's too much. You can speak on it. You can speak on whatever you want. Prove him wrong at this point. All right, hold on. Pop thinks he's I don't know. Sirianni, when you're going to Super Bowls, you can do what you want. I want a coach to go to fans and say, in your face. Yeah, absolutely. Big B, what up? Again, 2 shows in a row. Something new happening. There's a change in the winds. Becky is showing up on shows now. We are angry a star left our team. Belichick never went out to the hardworking, paying fans. You commanders are not good enough to. Yeah, look, Nick Sirianni goes out there after every single road game, and the Eagles fans travel really well to these road games. And he goes out there and shakes hands and high fives and gives like something to the Eagles fans that are spending their hard-earned money not just on tickets but travel as well. He's out there with the people. He's a man of the people. Popovich, on the other hand, says, no, I'm above you. Do as I say. I have not stopped thinking about this over the last 48 hours, both these situations, the Popovich and the Nick Nurse thing. I want my coach to be like Nick Sirianni. I want my coach being emotional, fired up, has no problem. We saw it earlier this year, Nick Sirianni, when Jalen Hurts made a bad turnover, rip it. Jalen Hurts is one of the MVP front runners. He will be for the next how many years? And you know what? When Jalen Hurts made a bad, crucial mistake earlier this year, I forget what situation it was, he ripped Jalen Hurts a new one. And it didn't cause a fracture in the locker room. It didn't cause a fracture in the Hurts and Sirianni relationship. You just held him accountable. And that's what you want. That's what you want out of your coaches. But you also want them there, picking them up when they're down. You want them there, cheering on the fans. You want them there, solving. You want everything. You want Nick Sirianni's personality and his smarts for the game, obviously. You want that as a coach. Gregg Popovich, on the other hand, I kind of feel like the sport might have passed him by at this point. Talk about not understanding what a fan is in that statement that he made. I don't get it. Man Chatter saying it was disrespectful. I would boycott the team until Popovich apologized. Well, then you would be boycotting your team forever because Popovich would never apologize. Popovich will never be fired either. Popovich will retire at some point, but he would never retire or get fired, and he would never apologize. That's not who he is. And I'm sure a reporter somewhere, the next game, whenever the next game is for them, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, whenever it is, will ask him about that. And he'll say, well, that's what he won't say anything. He'll just say, that's right. I stand by what I said. Or he'll tell the reporter that's a dumb question. Next question. And when a team is playing bad and you spend your hard-earned money, you have the right to boo. You have the right to boo when a team's playing good, bad, ugly, whatever. As long as you do it respectfully and you're not saying bad words or names or you're not, threatening people or their families or whatever. If you're just booing, if you're just making noise, that's your right. That's what fandom is. We've seen soccer fans burn stadiums to the ground, and that barely gets any attention. But yet, San Antonio was booing a man on a free throw line to try to get him to miss a free throw, and we had to stop the game. The Eagles, Nick Sirianni, just shouted towards Chiefs fans after a fiery last-minute win on Monday Night Football, a game no one gave them a chance to win outside of this show. And he was fired up. Yeah. Pointing to the Chiefs fans. I don't hear you. That's all. But we want him to grow up. That's what Joe Giglio says, or Giglio, or Giglio, or Giglio, or whatever his name is. Now, I don't call the dial people clowns or whatever bad. Like, Giglio is getting some hate for his comments, obviously, and rightfully so, but in bad ways. The complete opposite of what the fans in San Antonio, like Popovich, if they were chanting some bad words at Kawhi, sure. And there's some people chanting some bad words at Giglio right now, and that's the wrong way about doing business. We can have this conversation, and Giglio's welcome to come on this show. I know he won't, but he's welcome to come on this show to discuss his reasons why he said that. But I want my coach being like Nick Sirianni. I want Nick Sirianni. Gregg Popovich has won, 5, 6 NBA titles? I would take Nick Sirianni's personality over Gregg Popovich's personality in a heartbeat, even though Nick Sirianni's never won anything yet. I don't want somebody like Gregg Popovich in my city. That's just not the way to do it. I don't know who this guy is or what a Clipper is. The Los Angeles Clippers are a basketball team. Kawhi Leonard's a former MVP and a former champion, and Gregg Popovich is the coach, legendary coach of the Spurs. We're teaching this morning as well. You know how many hour wages it would cost for a ticket? Absolutely. It's like a week's worth of work just to get a ticket to a sporting event. If I want to boo, I'm going to boo. I want my coach to be him. If he's passionate, let him show his passion. Let him be academic. Look, we criticized, we hated Andy Reid in this town for so long because of how boring he was. He would go up to the podium after every game. All right, these are the guys that were injured. Time's yours. First question asked, whatever it is. I got to do a better job putting my players in a position to succeed. Next question. I got to do a better job to put my players in a better position to succeed. Next question. I'm going to get myself a ham sandwich. Next question. Got to put my players in a better position to succeed. That's it. And we hated that. We got a guy like Nick Sirianni that's emotional. He's one of us. He represents Philly, what Philadelphia blue-collar, hardworking people are all about. And we're criticizing it. But yet in San Antonio, you get away with San Antonio wants you to be like Andy Reid in the stands. Just sit there with your hands crossed, twiddling your thumbs, watching the game go back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if he told everybody, put your phones away. I don't want you or having your phones out at a basketball game. That's the next thing you're going to hear from Popovich. Pay attention to the game on the court. It's ridiculous that we even have to have this conversation. Fans are an essential element in the feedback loop. Absolutely. Fans are essential in paying the bills. Sports leagues don't exist without the fans. TV deals don't get $10 billion TV deals if the fans aren't tuning in. Ticket prices keep going up way faster than salaries go up. People still go out and sell out those stadiums nonstop. I don't know. Great take. Yeah, it's exactly. It's honestly, his comment is even deeper than I think he realizes it is here. Because without the fans, there would be, no sport. There would be no team. There would be no leagues without fans. Now, again, there's limits to the emotion that Nick Sirianni shows. Now, I don't want him dropping F-bombs or starting fights with people or anything like that. But man, what Nick Sirianni does, the fact that anyone, especially in our city, in a media position in our city, would criticize Nick Sirianni for the way he does business means you have no pulse on the city, the fans, and the team whatsoever. For Gregg Popovich to think it's okay to do what he does means he has no pulse on what anything is going on. And it's a great comment, but it's honestly so much deeper than that. I don't boo my coach flipping the double bird, the best quarterback in the NFL going to the Super Bowl at half. Do it when the confetti is coming down on our side. Yeah, I mean, there's limits for sure. Who is choking? He's a longtime guy over at WWIP. I don't know what show he's on right now, but he's one of the hosts. He's been there for a long time. He makes a lot more money than I do doing this. But I can do the job he does 10 times better. It's just the way it is. Because I don't go out there and make asinine statements like Jiggy does. Okay? Just going to say. Maybe I should start making asinine statements. Just so I can get people to start, whether they bash me or not, just make them. I don't know. So Sirianni should not interact with the commenters. That this just makes me like Sirianni more. Absolutely. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Joe Jiggy doesn't want him interacting. He doesn't want him shut. He wants more Andy Reid, basically. Pig skill. Yeah. Like how you introduced good question. Thank you. I think it's a frustrating topic for me, the way it's worked out lately. His kid just wanted Chick-fil-A on the bye week. Oh man. Yes. You guys who pay our salaries, you're not good enough. Yeah, we want Nick. We want Nick. Nick Sirianni is 10 times the coach that Dougie Sean McDermott is. I almost said Doug McDermott. Yeah, Dougie Buckets. Arms out, fly, Eagles fly, coach in your face. I love it. I love when Nick had on the beat Dallas hoodie. Yeah, it was like a year or two ago. Look, I made fun of the T-shirts and the shirt. I used to call it T-shirt gate years ago with Nick Sirianni when he first started. But it was fun. It was just in jest. But semi-hard class at reset. We're at 9 likes right now. This is trending in the AM on Philadelphia Sports Network. We got to do better on the like buttons, guys. I had a show earlier this week. You guys we had 35 likes. We're 47 minutes into this show, and we've got 9 likes. That's not good enough. 2 on Facebook. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. I'd greatly appreciate it as we continue this conversation here. Because, again, I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of weird. Also, how this conversation is so divisive to so many people. Because, like I said, we're all in agreement on both the Nick Sirianni and Gregg Popovich thing in the show, which is crazy because I don't think the entire show has agreed on a topic in a long time this much. But there are plenty of people in my mentions on social media disagreeing with all of us. Like massively on both the Popovich thing and the Sirianni thing. And it's kind of frustrating. Because I don't even think this is up for debate, honestly. I think Popovich was wrong. And I don't think there's, like me, I'm very open. I always say where your opinions actually matter. But I don't think there's room to make a debate on this. I don't think you can debate that Popovich was right in this situation. I don't think you can. Maybe I'm just going to put up a wall on this. I don't think you can debate me and tell me that Nick Sirianni is wrong for being an emotional roller coaster. I don't think you can. You can't tell me with a straight face you want Nick Sirianni to go back to the Andy Reid style of coaching. You can't tell me you want fans to sit with their hands on under their butts and keep their mouths shut at sporting events. I don't know. I don't get it. Andy is Andy, and I loved Andy when he was here because we all know that he's a nose in the books and hardworking with few words. Sirianni is a different coach with a different way of doing things. Exactly. But there was a lot of people, Duck, that didn't like Andy Reid's style of doing business because he didn't show that emotion. We all wanted a little bit of emotion from him. Now, he's grown as a person since he went to Kansas City. He's a little different now than he was back in Philly. But he's also got some Super Bowl titles under him, too. But Nick Sirianni, I relate much more to Nick Sirianni than I did to Andy Reid. I relate more to Nick Sirianni than I did to Doug Peterson. Even though Doug Peterson got us our Super Bowl, I relate to him more. I think Nick Sirianni is more relatable to the average fan. Gregg Popovich, on the other hand, I don't think he's relatable to anybody. Gregg Popovich thinks he's here, and you're all beneath him, except for me, because I'm above him. But that's another subject. Pretty sure Eagles Nation is all in on Siri by now. If you go through my mentions on Twitter, unless they're Cowboys fans in disguise, that is not 110% accurate. It's 98-2, but there's a few people that want Nick Sirianni to show less emotion. Some media people think Commoner's beneath them. I don't. You're like way below me. Not just below me, way below me. No, I'm just kidding. I like to think of us all as equals, 100% equals here. And that's why that's the whole platform of this show. When I started doing content creation, I did it for one reason: to have discussions, not to state facts and make you be beneath me. Not for you to say your opinion and say, no, you're wrong. Let's discuss why I don't agree or you don't agree with me. Not you're wrong, I'm right all the time. Someone like Joe Giglio, that's how they do business. That's how the big time radio station. I don't know how they do it up in Buffalo, but we got 3 FM sports channels in Philadelphia. 3. And 80% of the hosts on those shows run their shows in a way where it's their opinions, and if you don't agree, tough luck. Eagles are my second favorite team. Don't think Bills are going anywhere, though. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get back to that in a little bit. This conversation is still going here. Those Andy State Farm commercials are hilarious. He has. He started to show some personality. He's different, for sure. He's definitely matured personality-wise. No doubt about it. I miss Andy and Doug, but I like Nick. Yeah, I mean, they're all 3 of the coaches. Andy Reid, Doug Peterson, Nick Sirianni. We're all different. Philosophy-wise, style-wise, personality-wise. But Nick Sirianni, to the average Philadelphia Eagles fan, to the average Philadelphia sports fan, is more relatable. Because we wear our emotions on our sleeves. We live, breathe, and die with every second of every game of Eagles. And so does Nick Sirianni. I mean, he got criticized if you don't remember. When was the game? A year and a half ago, when the national anthem was playing, and you've seen the GIF over and over again. Nick Sirianni crying during the national anthem. There are people that call him bogus for doing that because he was wearing his emotional sleeve. Me, I love that. That is relatable to me. I am an emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And Nick Sirianni does that. Every pitch, every play, every shot of the basket, every shift with the Flyers. I am on the edge of my seat. Every play, that's a Super Bowl play. Every bad play, we're the worst in the world. And Nick Sirianni's like that. I wouldn't want a Gregg Popovich coaching in Philadelphia because we wouldn't relate to him. If Allen is on once every 4, he can't be stopped. You might get worse than Mac Jones. There's a big range there. That's pretty big. Dude, 32-12 in Philly. What does Nick have to do? I don't know. Maybe do what he's doing, but just with a stoic face like this. And yes, we got to do better. That's what people want. I don't know why. That's not what I want. Not even close to what I want. Not even remotely close. I saw someone on another show saying that if we don't win a Super Bowl this year, he should be. Are you kidding me, Doc? Well, what are you doing watching that show then? I mean, and that's the problem. It's a problem. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that someone would actually go out there and say that on a show, whether it's a radio, YouTube, anywhere. Someone saying that they should lose their card. They should. Andy Reid's definitely better in KC for sure. He really is. Unfortunately, because that means he beat us in the Super Bowl last year, and we're going to have to play him again in the Super Bowl this year. Doug liked the fans. Yeah, he did it in a different way. Doug Peterson was slightly different. He was like a mix between Nick Sirianni and Andy Reid. He had a little bit of that Andy Reid, quiet, shy personality. He had a little bit of the passion with like Nick Sirianni. He had a little bit. He was kind of like the combo of both, and he got us our one Super Bowl. Yeah, what Duck? I almost got to put Duck's comment back up here. The fact that someone said a Super Bowl or bust this year. I mean, it's ridiculous. The most asinine statement I've heard all week long, and I've heard a lot. The fat coach deep down likes fans. I'm not saying that Andy Reid didn't like us. He just didn't show it like Nick Sirianni does. Andy liked the fans too. He disliked the media. I don't know if he disliked the media. He disliked talking to the media, that's for sure. That person is just an idiot troll. You gotta send me a message after the show, Duck, on who that was, Facebook or Twitter. I want to know who that person was because I'm going to call them out. I was maybe the last holdout who wanted to keep Andy after 12. Everyone else wanted Andy fired. Yeah, I think I was at the point where I was okay with it. I also remember thinking that I didn't want to move on from Andy because one thing about Andy, whether we were Super Bowl contenders or not, we were always in the playoffs. I mean, we missed the playoffs, what, like 3 times in his tenure here, 4 times in his tenure here? We had a pretty successful rate. But we couldn't get over the hump, and I wanted to get over the hump. So that's why I was okay I didn't think Andy was gonna ever take this team over the hump. He needed a fresh start somewhere else, and to get gifted Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback ever to live, that kinda helps out a little bit too. Nick talks the most shit, and he's the best at it. Yeah, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the personality. I love the excitement. Didn't Doug rip apart the Eagles? Uh, Doug might have had a little bit of the breakup. He might have been part of the reason why the band broke up. Some say it was Carson Wentz broke the band up. Some say it was Doug Peterson broke the band up. Some say it was Harry Roseman broke the band up. There are a lot of egos after the Eagles finally won that Super Bowl, and those egos did not mesh very well. So somebody broke the band up, and everybody's got a different opinion on who broke the band up after the Super Bowl run. Some say it was Alshon Jeffries. Some say everybody played a role. Carson Wentz, everybody did. Um, I didn't want Andy to go. Just run the freaking ball more. Yeah, everybody wanted the ball run more. But it's a passing league, and it is what it is. That anthem rendering was tearjerker. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It was. And you know what? It got to Nick Sirianni, and he didn't hold back. Like I always say, I'm not afraid to cry. I cry. Crying's good for you. Letting emotions out is good for you. You don't want to hold it all in. You don't want to bottle that all up inside. After 2011, Lori pretty much said 12 was the last chance for Andy, and we know what happened that year. Plus, Andy had a lot of personal issues. He did have a lot of personal issues at the time as well. But it's not like he took a few years off. He went right back to coaching. So I don't know. Carson Wentz was the Yoko in that case. Dougie just wanted to be able to make more decisions as the head coach. Well, again, everybody's got different beliefs on what happened, at the end of that era of Philadelphia Eagles football. Um, it is what it is. The band broke up. There will be a reunion tour 10 years from now. It'll be 2017. Maybe we'll get the reunion tour at about the 15-year mark of the Super Bowl, so maybe 32. Then that'll be the next time we get the reunion. We'll get Nicky Foles, Big Slick Nick, and Dougie back at the link together. But it might be at least till 2030 when that happens. Having attended Quaker meetings, let the spirit lead to speak if you feel it. I love that. I don't know much about the Quaker religion, but weren't the Quakers founded in Pennsylvania? I don't know. I'm thinking that. But if the let the spirit lead to speak if you feel it. I love it. I love that saying. I love that line. And it's true. And Nick Sirianni does that. I don't know. Is he Quaker? Wentz really was a Yoko. Wentz, man. Wentz was an issue, we'll just say. Did Doug want Hurts but not Wentz? I don't know. There have been so many rumors. Like, I need like a really in-depth interview with Sirianni. Like, I need the ESPN 30 for 30 on the band breaking up. I really do. Where they're all allowed to speak honestly. Once all their careers are over and they're not worried about their next paycheck, I need the ESPN 30 for 30 on. There's so many ESPN 30 for 30s I want just in our city. I need the band breaking up there. I need the Ben Simmons drama 30 for 30. I need the Sam Hinkie process for 30 for 30. I need the James Harden, Doc Rivers, or Daryl Morey breakup 30 for 30. There's so many 30 for 30s I need in this city right now. And I'm sure I'm missing a few. Andy's time has passed in Eagles land. Hopefully, or honestly, his time as Chiefs might have passed too if he didn't win that second two. Oh, yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance. I'm quicker. Or you're a Quaker? I had no idea, Becky. No clue. I learn something new about you every single day. I had no clue. Wasn't that religion started in Pennsylvania at some point? Weren't the Quakers from PA? Wasn't William Penn a Quaker? Except there was no John Lennon. Yeah. Of course, Flacco and Wentz both signed. Yeah, did Flacco sign with the Browns? I think he was thinking about it. I thought Doug was going to be a lifer for real. The fact that Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl in 2017 and by 2020 was gone, like that is the quickest trigger on a coach moving on that I could think of. A guy that brings a franchise, a passionate franchise like the Eagles, their first Super Bowl ever in over 50 years, and he's fired a few years later. Do you know how bad the band has to break up for that to happen? Like the lead singer of the band getting fired. Well, no, the quarterback would be the lead singer. He'd be the manager. The band firing the manager because they only got him one gold album and not a platinum album. I don't know how to say it, but to me, it's still so weird that happened so quickly. Yeah, I don't know much either, but they make good oatmeal. Shout out to the oat man. um, with a name like Sirianni, I'd be very disappointed if he's not a Roman Catholic. Yeah, he's a great Italian American, as my man Mark would say, for sure. Chip Kelly versus Hallie Roseman, 30 for 30. That would be another. Dude, there are so many 30 for 30s just in the last 10 years in Philadelphia sports that could be made. Like, literally, I just need to get hooked up with NBC Sports. We need to make our own 30 for 30s at NBC Sports Philadelphia. They have no good original programming anymore. Let's do a Philly 30 for 30 season. There'd be so many stories to tell. And Chip Kelly might be out of a job soon. So at least you could he'd have some free time to talk if you started with that one right off the bat. Surviving Chip Kelly, 30 for 30 is the one. Yeah, let's hear what Chip Kelly has to say about Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy again. I would love to hear that one. I still need to know what side you had, Phil, before we put this to bed. So yesterday we had mashed potatoes, which we made. I made the mashed potatoes with my wife. Stuffing. There was a cornbread casserole, green bean casserole. Not a fan. Had a little bit. You got to. We had some sweet roasted carrots. Turkey, obviously. Gravy, obviously. Rolls, obviously. I think that was it on my plate. Then we had a nice little charcuterie board for snacks beforehand. I played TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, on my brother-in-law's simulator before we ate. Stunk, of course, but that's what I ate. Had a little ricotta cheesecake, had some candies, had some wine, had some beers, had some scotch. The game on at 1. The game today's at 1. I thought it was at 3. I've heard mixed reports on it, but the Quakers invented the oatmeal. There you go. Nixon was a Quaker too. Quakers are cheaters. Is that what you're saying? Quakers make bad leaders? Is that what you're saying? William Penn was a Quaker and started it in England. Quakers in the U.S. started here in Philly. I also remind you, Nixon. So that's two people saying Nixon was a Quaker. And I thought William Penn was a Quaker and started it here in Philly. I did. I really thought that. That's deep down in the recesses of my brain, learning that in school at some point. Whether I learned it in religion class or whether I learned it in history class, I don't know. But something at Holy Cross taught me that back in the day. Chip Kelly was Yoko. Let's see. That's funny. Shut up, Quakers still exists. Well, you learn something. Rebecca, who's in the comments on Facebook, I've known her for a long time. She's a good friend of mine, and I didn't even know she was a Quaker. I had no clue. I didn't know they sold Miller Lite at Quakers. at Quaker meetings. Just a joke. Sorry, Becky. Just kidding. Great call. Yeah, absolutely. Um, if Chip Kelly is the reason we got the Super Bowl, we wouldn't get the Howie we have now without the move to the equipment. Yeah, a lot of things all worked out. All the different pieces that were in play worked out. So now we're at where we're at now, which is with an amazing team that has a chance to be a dynasty if it works out properly. Phil, been to Buca de Pepo. Buca de Pepo is like a chain now, isn't it? Like it started out as like a one-off, and I remember the one-off that used to be in Exton, I think. Now there's dozens of them. It's a good place. I'm not a big fan of the family style at restaurants. When I go to a restaurant, I want to order what I want. I don't want to sit there with 5, 7 people and be like, oh, what do we all want to share? And I go to if I that's what if you come to my house, I'll make a big tray and you can all share. But when I go to a restaurant, I want to pick what I want, and that's it. I don't want to share with other people. Leonard Toast almost selling the team over his degenerate gambling debts would be an awesome 30 for 30. Absolutely. We could do a 30 for 30 on what was the guy after him? The car dealer from Miami. Why can't I think of his name? Norman Brayman. Yeah, we could do a 30 for 30 on that. I need an AI versus Larry Brown 30 for 30. Absolutely. And you know AI and Larry Brown would be brutally on out of all the 30 for 30s. That would be probably the most brutally honest one out there for sure. It's kind of the OG recipe. Man Chatter, Buca de Pepe, the Disneyland, possibly. Oh man, 2011 Eagles was so bad, fam, that we went hired a college coach with a gimmick offense. Yeah, and honestly, kind of worked for a few years. I mean, we did win 10 games in a row, or 10 games 2 years in a row. It just wasn't good enough. And see, I've seen people say it's 1 o'clock, and then some people did. I don't know. Maybe they changed the time of the game at some point. I don't know. Did you all talk about the Lions? We talked about them being frauds earlier in the show. We could do it again. It's okay. They're frauds. Core 12 edumacation this morning. Yeah, we're getting some edumacation on a lot of topics. That's Black Friday. You know, we barely talked Eagles Bills. We literally just talked about coaching and drama and stuff like that. But I get it. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about this conversation that we're having right now. George Fox started the religion in England. Interesting. So we didn't find it. We just founded it here in America, or brought it here to America first here in Philly. Got it. See, look at it. Look at the deep knowledge we're getting here. Deep, deep, deep knowledge here on religion. Chip Kelly did draft Lane Johnson, and you know what? We are forever grateful for Chip Kelly. And there's still philosophies used with the Eagles from Chip Kelly. There's still philosophies that Chip Kelly brought to the NFL that the whole NFL uses. Chip Kelly was a nutshell. If Chip Kelly would have stayed away from player personnel decisions, Chip Kelly, I stand by this. Chip Kelly might not be the Eagles coach still, but Chip Kelly would still be an NFL coach if he didn't want full control of his team all the time. If he would just take the team he was given and make it work, things would have been different in his career. And now it looks like he's getting fired in college again. I'll be curious to see where he heads next in his coaching career. They be frauds. They do be frauds. The Lions, absolutely. I'll never forgive Chip for blowing up Jack Shady and Vic Trio. Yeah, I mean, it was not smart. Out of all of them, I'm most upset still about Shady, just because we traded Shady to Buffalo for Kiko Alonso, a borderline Hall of Fame running back, maybe a Hall of Fame running back, for Kiko Alonso, of all people. Like, seriously? Chip should never be allowed in the NFL again because of that. K1 fraudulent activities. Yes, absolutely. So no sharing, Phil. What am I sharing? I just don't. When I go to a restaurant, I don't want to share. I want my plate. I don't want to. It's not even just the sharing. It's like I don't want to have to make a group decision at a restaurant. I want what I want. If I look at a menu, that's what I want. I don't want to share. That's just it. I mean, once you get married, you share everything because your wife's always going to want to bite on your plate, and you're always going to want to bite off of your wife's plate. But I want to order what I want. I don't want to. I don't want the family style thing in a restaurant. Only at home in big events like Thanksgiving. Chip Kelly won it, Mariota back then, but it's crazy we got him now. It's so funny. And we lucked out so well that we did not What was it? Hashtag. It was what's his name? The Cuz, Anthony Gargano. He had he started the hashtag do the deal for Marcus Mariota, and so much would have changed in the history of the Eagles if that would have gone through, for sure. We all know it was racist reason too, trying to tell grown men how to act. They aren't kids, yeah, and that's why so many college coaches fail in the pros because they're used to managing and coaching 18 and 19-year-old kids, and they come to the pros with athletes that are grown men making double the amount of coaches, and some coaches just don't know how to adjust. That's why I always found it weird that so many Sixers fans wanted Jay Wright in the NBA. Like we don't know if Jay Wright would make a good NBA coach. We don't. He did great in his career with young kids, with teenagers, but we never seen him coach grown men. You just never know. A lot of college coaches have bombed in the NFL and the NBA. Not all of them. Some have done well, but a lot of them have. Um, Hibachi is overrated. Prove me wrong. That is completely out of left field. Um, and is it overrated? Yeah. We had a lot of fun with it last year on vacation. We had a hibachi guy come to our house that we rented in Florida and do it for everybody. It was kind of fun. It's fun. It's entertaining, especially if you have a good hibachi host or chef or whatever they're called. But yeah, I mean, hibachi food in general is just overrated, unless they got good boom boom sauce or whatever it's called. Um, I had to head into office a bit, but most walking up whenever. That's the supreme irony. Yeah, it is. It really is. Mariota, do the deal. Doesn't work out. Later in his career, here he is. It is kind of weird. It really is. Some garbage teams in NFL in your conference know you the best. I got so messed up on Ripo. I don't know. Oh, is that the turkey stuff? Gotcha. Kiko Alonso sounds like a hairstylist who only shampoos and clips split. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious, Eric. I like that. That's a winner right there. That's why I don't like turkey. Yeah, I was ready to fall asleep. It was tough. It was tough. The only bad part about going somewhere on Thanksgiving, and like I said, I went to my sister's, is then you have to, after eating all that turkey and drinking all that wine, then you got to drive home afterwards, and that's the hardest part. Jay Wright knew that he wouldn't enjoy the NBA. Absolutely. I don't know that. Maybe he just didn't like the opportunities presented to him. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee that he would have had success. It all tastes the same. Hibachi, it does. It's all about the show, the entertainment. Um, I roll however I feel like on a regular basis. Shout out to K1, absolutely. What do we got here? Shady straight up for Kiko was such a robbery because we didn't even get a pick from the Bills. It was. Like, I'm still like, I've gotten over so many things in sports. I still have not like I'm already over the Phillies exit from the playoffs. I'm already over last year's Super Bowl loss. I'm not over the Kiko Alonso for LaShawn McCoy trade, Marshawn. I don't think I will. I'll be 80 years old in a nursing home. Be like, remember that time back in 2000, whatever? When we traded Shady McCoy for Kiko? I'd still be talking about that 40 years from now because I'm going to be still upset about how offensive that trade was, for sure. My background should be a dark concert hall with a grand piano. Nah, I do want to do a better background someday. Just not right now, but someday. Chip Kelly got Byron Maxwell too, and we all saw how that turned out. Yeah, I see. The thing was though, Adam, I remember making statements. I didn't have any followers. I didn't have shows or anything like that. But I remember putting it on Facebook and like my 4 followers on Twitter at the time. I remember putting that out there that I wasn't sure Byron Maxwell was going to be good anyway. I remember saying blatantly that we will find out whether Byron Maxwell was a system cornerback successful in that Legion of Boom with Richard Sherman and all the other guys there with Pete Carroll, or was he actually good? It turned out that he was definitely a system cornerback and only fit into that system. Because after he left Philly, he had another good year. I think he went back to Seattle, and I think he had a good year after he was done here. Not great, but good. But he just wasn't an elite outside corner in any random system. Um, Hibachi had its place, and the place is over. The Legend of Kiko, it sucks. Y'all know, helped shape the Bills for sure, for sure. Kiko was an Oregon guy. Yeah, Chip Kelly would have just brought every Oregon Duck here if he could. That was the biggest event in Buffalo since TM. Maxwell was a Duck too. Was he? I didn't even know that he was. Yeah, I've thought about getting a green screen and design something. The problem is when you go to the green screen settings, virtual backgrounds, because I could do virtual backgrounds. Here we go. There's a virtual background for you. When you do this, it kind of slows the stream down a little bit. Now, I don't have a green screen, so that's what these like little blurbs are and all. But when you run the green screen on this site, it does slightly slow the I don't know what it does. It does cause a little glitches in it. Maybe if I had a green screen, it wouldn't. You could do the blur background. You could do this background. I used to have a picture background too, but I must not have it on this platform right now. I designed something with the trending logo and stuff like that in the past, but that I would need a green screen for that to make it better. I have a cardboard cutout of Brian Danielson you should put in your office. I got a Brian Danielson bobblehead or action figure somewhere in here. But you give me a cardboard cutout of him, I'll put it right here. I'll put him right next to the Fanatic, right behind me. Shady was a salary dump. You can almost defend that move. Djax was just Djax was gang related. He was just outright released because of gang affiliation. One of the worst things of all time. One of the best Chip did was bring Stoutland to be our offensive line coach. Well, guess what, guys? That's a great. You know what? We're going to get off these random topics and we're going to get back to the football game at hand, which is Eagles Buffalo Sunday 425 and Stoutland University. Stoutland's offensive line. I think it's a great way. I'll click on all these comments, see if I missed anything else, but it's a great segue because the Buffalo Bills do create a lot of sacks. They do get after the quarterback. I got their team stats up right here. Defense, sacks. You've got Leonard Floyd, 9.5 sacks. AJ Espinoza, 6.5. Ed Oliver, 6. They still got Von Miller, who just came back. Jordan Phillips, Shaq Lawson. They got a lot of guys that can get after a quarterback. Jordan Poyer, great safety. He doesn't have a lot of sacks this year, but, still does what he does. Jeff Stoutland, we have not spent enough time this week talking about Jeff Stoutland and how we have anointed him the greatest offensive line coach of all time. But the pass protection on this team has been atrocious. And we're going to start talking about that because that's a key to the game. True that, Duck. Yeah, we got it. But we got to talk about that. T.O. is first. Mario Williams. Oh, man. Mario Williams I forgot about that name. Now, keep the fathead. The Tommy. Oh, the Tommy fathead will never go away. I love that Tommy fathead. The Keo Spikes. There was another name. He was an Eagle for a little while. DeMarco Murray was another bad player he got to. Absolutely. Trying to have a running back that runs out of an I formation for success, but decide to run him out of shotgun. Yeah. Got about yo. Peace out, Beck. Love you. Dudes and dudettes. Funny. Von Miller is so washed. He might be, but he's still a name. AJ is average. Okay. Linville Joseph is there. That's right. Yeah. Von is done. He might be, but he might have something left. You never know. KC is a better D-line than Buffalo. We should be ready for them after that beating in the first half of KC. Look, key to one was, like I already said, creating turnovers. Key to victory number 2, keeping Jalen Hurts upright, standing up. We've got to keep him upright. It's the only way we're going to win this game. If Jalen Hurts is getting knocked around again and again and again. But my question is, why does Jeff Stoutland get such a pass? Like, Jeff Stoutland is this all-worldly offensive line and run game coordinator. Why does he get a pass? I mean, yes, what he's done is phenomenal, but the offensive line is not performing at peak levels right now. But yet it's the offensive line's fault, not the coach's fault. Like, I don't understand. Like, I want to put some criticism on. I'm not taking away his gold jacket. I'm not saying I want to move on from him. But we got to, call a spade a spade. And he's not. His offensive line is not performing at the level we're used to seeing. Now, some of that is definitely Jalen Hurts' knee issue, his immobility this year, or as mobile as he used to be. But you got to put some of it on Jeff Stoutland and what he's done. Losing Trey White was a killer. Jordan Phillips and Tim Settles, other defensive tackles. Dodson, Williams, and the great Bernard are two linebackers. They run a 4-2-5. He's saying it's pretty common in the NFL nowadays because Stoutland, you turn players like Mailata, Vitae, et cetera. Into, absolutely, I get that. He's done a great job at developing players, but we've had this issue with pass protection. Honestly, we've had it before this year. People just didn't realize it. I've been trying to tell people we've had issues here, but people didn't believe me. But if he's so great, why this year has Jalen Hurts been running for his life all year long? I'm sure he's probably got more sacks this year than last year combined, all of last year. So why is it so frowned upon to put a little criticism on someone like Jeff Stoutland? Yes, I know the Jordan Mailata thing is even bigger than the Mailata thing, for sure. But I don't know. I feel like it's okay to criticize him to an extent. It should be okay at least. Johnson also adjusted the offense, so Hurts cut a full second off his passing during second half in that game. That's fine. Doesn't help the fact that Jeff Stoutland still is not making the necessary adjustments or finding out what's wrong to coach him up. Douglas R. The new, we get to see our old friend Rasul Douglas this week for sure. CBS cornerbacks are average like the Eagles. Rasul Douglas is definitely mid. He is, but he's one of those guys that will come up with a big play at a random moment. I just hope it's not against the Eagles. Stoutland puts together every week, but the players have to be focused and ready to play. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. No offense, Adam. Everyone says, when the players are bad, it's the players' fault. It's the players' fault sometimes. It's the coach's fault sometimes. Why can't it be both fault? Why can't the players need to execute better, but the coaches got to actually coach them up a little bit too? It's both people's fault that the pass protection's bad. It's not one or the other. It's everybody's to blame, in my humble opinion here. All right, we're at what? Technically, I would be ending this show in about 6 minutes. We're just going to keep going here. I got nowhere to be, but I'm only going to keep going if we get those likes up and the shares up on this show. We've only got 12 likes on YouTube, only 3 on Facebook. One's from me on both sites. So let's make sure we pound that like button if we want this show to keep going today, because technically 90 minutes is what I cut off at. We're almost there. I haven't even made a prediction for the game or gone down the NFL slate yet. So we'll keep going for a little while longer, guys, but definitely make sure we're hitting that like button, hitting that share button, hitting that subscribe button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Safeties, Jordan Poyer, very old. Yeah, he is. I'm going to learn a lot about the Bills this week. Also, pass protection responsibility falls on the quarterback and center, sliding protections and recognizing blitzing. And there was that situation that's getting a lot of criticism where Hurts checked off. Kelsey said, and Hurts said, and then the play did end up resulting in a first down, but, people got to be on the same page. Chip couldn't relate with any of our elite players. He was able to relate and share a bond with Riley Cooper after he famously, yeah, I remember that. Wasn't that like a Bruce Springsteen concert or something like that Riley Cooper was at? I don't know. Micah Hyde, still a Bill. Your cornerback stink. I hope so. I hope to see a feast from Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith this week. I hope to see them feasting. Hope to see it. Hope to see it. Chip Kelly drafted Jordan Poyer. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jordan Poyer was an Eagle. I'm like, in my mind, Martian, I'm like, when was Chip Kelly ever with the Bills? I'm like, oh, that's right. We drafted and we cut him. Didn't we cut him like his first year or before his first year even started? Like, we cut bait with Jordan Poyer way too soon, obviously. Stoutland also worked on the O-line during the half. I don't think Hurts got sacked in that second half. That's a possibility. But big picture, he has not stayed consistent this year at all, in my opinion. We need to. I have a couple of burner accounts. We need you all to create some burner accounts. Yeah, the more the likes, the more the views go up. The more the shares, the more the views go up. The more all that, maybe a few more super chats come in as well. I like and share on posts. Adam. I never have to worry about Adam supporting me, man. Adam's my guy. Adam's always supporting everything I do, and a lot of great content creators in the Philadelphia area. He's always supporting them all. He is like the perfect example of what I wish everybody did to help out. Phil's Breakfast Show post Thanksgiving extravaganza. Basically, that's what it is. A little late start. We're going overtime without even super chats. No, we're just having a good day. I got nothing new. I don't know what we're going to do today. Beard Bros and Core 12 hit that like and get us another 30 minutes. You want another 30 minutes? Jeez. I got to go put a couple more quarters in the machine out in the street there for my car if we're going to go another 30 minutes. Come on now. Mitch Morse, our center, is great, but ancient like Kelsey. Age is just a number because Kelsey's still performing at a very high level. Thanks for the inside info. Yeah, we're getting all the inside info on this. Like, I'm feeling very confident about predicting like an Eagles blowout now with all this inside information we're getting from Mad Chatter. Chip drafted Jordan Hicks, but he also drafted Jordan Huff. Yeah, that Chip Kelly draft had some big misses for sure. I hope Buffalo doubles AJ and Smitty and Julio gets to shine. Yeah, we'll see. We need Aqua Bowman breakout game. I don't know. All right, let's start getting into predictions for this game. Let's do that. All right, let's start getting into what your thoughts are on this game. How are we going to win? Because that's what did I say? The title of the show: the Eagles will beat the Bills if. So I've already said the Eagles will beat the Bills if they create turnovers. It doesn't matter how many they give up turnovers, as long as they create turnovers, 3 turnovers or more. The Eagles will win this game. Big. If Jalen Hurts stays upright. That's key number 2. Key number 3. Getting A.J. Brown back up. We can't have another A.J. Brown 1 catch for 8 yards. I know Devontae Smith had a good game. It was a rainy, messy game. Got to get A.J. Brown back on track. I need to see 100 yards from A.J. Brown again. It's been a few weeks. That's what we need. That's what we got to do. We got to get this offense humming again. We know what the defense is going to be. The defense is going to struggle in the first half, and the defense is going to pitch a second half shutout. We've got multiple second half shutouts. And I think only once in the last 6 weeks, I saw Liam put up a graphic, and I didn't write it all down. Over the last 6 games, I think we've given up like 20 or 24 points total in second half games. I mean, only once was there double digits given up in the second half of a football game. I want to see a complete game from the defense. I don't know if this week against the Bills is it, but I'd like to see it. I want to get this game. I want the confidence to be built in this game against the Bills because next week we got the 49ers, and that's a huge game. Yes, it's at home. It's a huge game not because – well, it's a huge game for multiple reasons. One, because they're going to want revenge on us. It's a huge game because we're battling for that number 1 seed in the conference. Luckily, the Lions losing helps us. If we can find a way to come out with a big win this week and build our confidence going into next week, it's going to feel even better. Another cup of coffee. I still got a couple sips of coffee left in my cup here. I could go. I forgo our weakest link is right tackle Spencer Brown. The other tackle Dawkins is solid. Key is shut down the run, which we do well. So that's good. Man up, Gabe and Shakir. We shouldn't have a problem. Adam's saying 27-20. He's got it. He's got a close game. I really thought I'd see some blowouts here in the comments. First prediction, close 27-24 victory. All right. Duck saying 28-21 Eagles. We will work that running game because we will get up 14 early and get stupid and allow the Bills back in the game late. Yeah, that's an MO of this Eagles team for sure. 2 safeties need to war N. I don't know. Watch Diggs. We got to slow Stefan Diggs down. Obviously, the key is to only be down 3 to 7 points at half. We've turned it up on offense in the third quarter. Well, I'd like to see a complete game and not have to do that. I want to see them turn it up in the third quarter, but already have a lead in the third quarter when the third quarter starts. Linebackers need to spy Allen. I've already discussed that spies are an overrated, outdated philosophy, in my opinion. Whiners are still crotch hurt from last year. Dude, they got a full extra 3 days to prepare for their Super Bowl. Their Super Bowl is next Sunday. K1 says 34-14 Birds. We finally play a complete game. I'm somewhere in that range right now, K1. I'm thinking of my scores right now and the ideas I've got. I think my final prediction is going to be very close to that. I really do. I really, really do. Latavius Murray is hungry. I can't believe Latavius Murray is still in the league. I feel like I've been talking about Latavius Murray for like 20 years now. Eagles 44-6 from Marshawn. Now that's a bit of a blowout. I don't think you can hold the Bills to 6 points. Bills offense is pretty potent still. Even with all the turnovers, they still could put up a lot and fast. So I think that's a bit of an extreme there. Eric 36-21. 15-point win. I don't know, Eric. Maybe. Reed was spying Mahomes in the second half. He was. That's how they stopped Mahomes' run out. You spy now by helping cover Dalton, but keep an eye out. Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm thinking about what my score should be. I am. Real quick, I want to run through the rest of the games in the NFL, see if there's any other good games this week. Obviously, we got the I just hit Bill's schedule instead of NFL's schedule. Obviously, today, 3:00, we got the Jets hosting Miami. Tim Coyle, whatever his name. Zach Wilson regulated to third string quarterback now for the Jets. I think they put up a fight, but I got the Dolphins winning. Hold on, I'm on the wrong page here because I wanted to see the spreads too, so I could predict these on the spreads. Dolphins are 9.5-point favorites. Wow, on the road on a Thursday. I'm going to take the Jets and the plus 9.5, but Dolphins win that game in my opinion. All right, first 1:00 game on the slate on Sunday. Saints at the Falcons. Saints 1.5-point favorites. Yeah, I'm taking the Saints there in that game. I definitely got that. Steelers Bengals. Steelers are 2-point favorites over the Bengals with Joe Burrow out for the year. Yeah, I can take the Steelers. They fired Matt Canada. So yeah, I'll take the Steelers and the points. What's that? 2 points? Yeah, I'll take that. Panthers at the Titans. Titans are 3.5-point favorites. Phone's ringing. Some random 940 area code number. Decline. Panthers. Man, that's a tough one, man. That's two really bad teams battling for draft position. No one's going to want to win that game. So I'm going to take the Panthers just for shits and giggles and the points. I will not be playing that game on my official card Sunday. Bucks at the Colts. Colts 2.5-point favorites. They're still in it. Bucks still in it. I'm taking the Colts and the points. I love to see the Colts playing at least decent and having a chance. I'm a Gardner Minshew fan. Let me catch up. We'll get back to that. We went up to the Bucks Colts. Let me catch up on some of these comments. 44-9 Eagles. Okay, all right, I got you. Miami by 14. Yeah, probably. The Jets are washed. Robert Saleh might get fired for the way he handled the whole Zach Wilson situation this year, even though he's a good coach. The odds are better way to think of it. 70% Eagles blowout, 20% Allen good. Gotcha. Nola take the points in New Orleans. Which game was that one? Hold on. The New Orleans one was the Falcons. Yeah, I'll take the points in that for sure. Pitt take the points. Agree 100%. With that, who the Steelers play, it's the Bengals without Joe Burrow. God, these are some dog games. Absolutely. Connor McGovern, guard, solid. Everyone's tanking for draft position. Everyone's Caleb Williams, and I don't want Caleb Williams. Waving that Carolina game, not betting. Yeah, I'm not betting that game at all. That was me, Phil. Answer. Gotcha. Indy with points. Absolutely agree with you on that as well. All right, so I did the Titans game. I stopped at it. No, I did the Colts game too. We got talk about dog games. Then we got the Patriots visiting the Giants. The Patriots are 3.5-point favorites. It's like the dumbest game in the world. Like, I'm going to take the Giants in the points. I'm going to get behind Tommy DeVito. But man, that's enough. There are so many dogs. We got the Patriots versus the Giants. We got the Panthers versus the Titans. We got the Saints and the Falcons. These are some god-awful football games. But then we get a good game. 1:00 game. This was supposed to be a 4:00 game. It got flexed to 1:00 for some reason. We got the Jaguars, 2-point favorites on the road against the Houston Texans, who are flying. This is the first real test for the Texans. Are the Jaguars frauds or are they not? And are the Texans real or not? I'm going to take the Texans in the 2 points. I'm going to say the Jags are frauds. Just going to do it. Browns at Broncos, first 4:00 game on the slate. This is kind of actually a decent game in theory. The Broncos have won 4 in a row. The Browns are winning despite quarterback issues. Broncos are 1.5-point favorites. I think the Broncos keep it going. I do. I think the Broncos win that game. Then we got the Rams at the Cardinals. Another dog game. The Rams are 2-point favorites. Maybe we see Carson Wentz in this game because it's going to be a blowout. I don't know. Maybe the Cardinals win. I don't know what to say here. I'm going to take the Cardinals in the 2 points. Why not? These are a lot of just why nots here because there's some dog game schedule peeps. But yeah, they basically the NFL's like, all right, it's Thanksgiving weekend. We got our best games on Thanksgiving. We're just gonna basically punt this week away. Whoa, we missed another hard reset. Oh, did we need to do another hard reset? Dude, I'm just finishing up this show, guys. We did get up to 16 likes, 3 on Facebook. So you guys did a little bit better as the show went on. That's why the Eagles Bills is the best game Sunday. Absolutely. They flexed everything out of Sunday just so that everybody could tune in. Yeah, a 0-0 tie between the Giants and the Pats would not shock me. Jacksonville takes the point. Take the points. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Houston with the points. So we got back-to-back comments, completely opposite. I still believe in Dougie. Browns in the points. Yeah, maybe. Sorry, I meant Jacks covers. Maybe. Cardinals points. Monday Night Football is garbage. We haven't even gotten that far down the list. Rams, Cardinals, I did that. Then we got the Chiefs, the Raiders. The Chiefs are 9-point favorites, but I'm taking the Raiders in the points. Not to win the game, just to cover, because Chiefs Raiders always are close, hard fought games. Sunday Night Football is Ravens at Chargers. It's a good game, but I'll take the Ravens and the 3 points, 3.5 points, because I don't buy the Chargers. Monday Night Football is Bears Vikings. We'll get to that on Monday. But that leaves us with Bills 49 or Bills Eagles. Bills are 3-point dogs to our Philadelphia Eagles. Raiders win outright. That's crazy. Las Vegas with the points, easy. That's an easy pick. Ravens win outright. Yeah, I like that too. So 3.5 is a sucker play. Yeah. I'm not taking the points in the Eagles game. Not at all. Baltimore will take the game. They will. Vikings. All right. So Eagles. Bills. Sunday afternoon football. Oh, that's right, true. The Ravens are without Mark Andrews. I forgot about that. That might make me rethink some things there. Eagles. I got the Eagles winning on Sunday. This is not like last week where before that Monday night game, we were sitting here talking. I'm like, I want to pick the Chiefs to win, but you guys are convincing me to be the homer and pick the Eagles to win, which you guys were right. But there we go with the splash of coffee in the face because I pull away too quick. I am. What's it say? I can't see that. Warning. I got to take the Eagles. This is not homers. I think the Eagles are the better team than the Bills. I think they're the more complete team than the Bills. The Bills are falling to pieces. Sean McDermott's going to get fired at the end of the year. This team knows it already. They're going to win games. They're still going to make the playoffs, the Bills. But I think this Bills team knows the writing is on the wall with this current incarnation of this team. Big changes in Buffalo after the season. I think the Eagles win. I think the Eagles win 31-17 over the Bills. That's my final prediction for the Eagles game. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, both with 100 yards receiving. Jalen Hurts throws for 300 yards. And as always, whether you think he's going to score or not, just always place a bet on a Jalen Hurts touchdown. Because odds are you're always going to hit the Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I can't believe the line is just 3. I can't believe it either, which is telling me that it could be closer than we think. But they're begging us, Eagles fans, to bet that line. They are. They're just begging us to do it. Yeah, I see the blowout happening. I honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if it's bigger than that, and then we give up some garbage time touchdown or two. Like I could see us being up 21-7 at half. Something like that. I could see us. I could see 10 of those Bills points coming in the fourth quarter. I can see the Bills not scoring more than a touchdown the first 3 quarters of the game. I just think we're going to dominate this game. This week will be when we finally could say on Monday, on Victory Monday's show, a complete win for the Philadelphia Eagles. I really feel that it's true. Could be Bills' kill shot. I think it is. Hey, Adam, thank you very much for tuning in today. We went an hour and 40 minutes today with no super chat. You guys got 100 minutes of my time today with no super chat. That's how great I am because I'm thankful for you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Exactly. With 16 likes, 3 on Facebook. Hit those like buttons, hit those share buttons, subscribe buttons. Even if you're watching this on replay, I check it all. I keep up with it all throughout the day. So everybody have a great day. We're going to wrap this show up right here. They are a cornered. I can't see what emoji that is. How will the Bills respond? We'll see. I am the GOAT. I am the GOAT. I'm the number one morning show in Philadelphia right here that not nearly enough people watch. I am the man. You guys are the man. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here doing this every single day. Go Birds is an accurate statement. Best part about the Cowboys is Dolly. I know your sister's a big Dolly fan. I'm not a huge Dolly fan. Thankful for Phil and the core. Yes, we are all thankful for each other. I love this, man. This is what I do for fun, man. But I love it, man. I love doing this every single day with you guys. I missed you all yesterday. I actually had a graphic ready to go and a title for a show to do a show yesterday, but it just didn't work out into the schedule. I slept a little too late and made breakfast. Time just got away from me. So we skipped yesterday, but it's all good because you guys were all back in full force today. Live stream game to get new viewers. I know. I'm just not. I don't want to sit in my office for an entire football game. I don't really have the setup for it, man. Like I get an extra little couch in here, maybe, and a TV in here. I would have to watch the game on my side screen here. That's really small. I have to sit in this uncomfortable chair for a few hours. I just can't do it, man. I want to, but I just can't. I wait till I get a better setup for this kind of stuff, and then maybe down the line we'll do it that. Um, What's to say? Cherish Phil while you can, because this 200K. This is a 200K sub talent guy. We will look. I would love 200,000 subs. I would love to have 200,000 views. I would love 2,000 views. I would. It's all good. Just once. It's an investment. I don't know, man. I don't know if my back can handle it. I would love to. I've thought about doing Sixers games. I thought about doing a lot of different live streams, but man, I just don't know if it's in the cards right now, my man. I don't know. I don't make enough money. I already put out there 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Today, we're now at 102 minutes today. I put out a lot of time on this. I don't know if I could do much more. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this show up. Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Even if you're watching on replay, hit that like button, share, subscribe button. Tune in live daily, 8 a.m. for the best, most interactive morning show where your opinions actually matter. For Philadelphia Sports Network, I am Phil Stiefel. Y'all have a great Black Friday. We'll see you on Victory Monday. Go Birds.